And hello, folks. You should know by now. That DickRhino is always fashionably late. That's a given at this point. Welcome to whoever's over here. It's sort of like late night stream, which is cool. So we're gonna set everything up the way we always do. We're gonna need some assistance from chat, just figuring out all of the levels are nice. Like, what is the audio like? What's the music like? What's my voice like? We have to adjust some of the audio levels. Music is loud. Understood. Let's turn that music down. Levels are nice. What is the audio like? What's the music like? Yes, here you see people. Let's see if we can make this a bit better. We don't want the music to be too loud. Checking now, testing now. What's the music like? Is it too loud? Is it good? Is it better? Boop 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 boop. Well, it's not really that the mic is low. It's more a problem that we're doing a late night stream here, which means that my wife and my daughter have gone to bed, so I got to do like an ASMR kind of deal here. But okay, I can see what I can do about this. How about we crank that mic up a bit to compensate for the fact that I can't speak as loud as I want to. Testing now. All right. Now. This will be an ASMR stream. It will be an ASMR stream. If that's something you're into, then you should do the like and the comment and the subscribe. Absolutely you should. Because my daughter is sleeping. My precious, precious little 16-month-old daughter. Can't risk waking her up. I have to make a little announcement in the Discord that I've gone live. Boom. I have made the Discord announcement. A lot of Discord pings today. Hope people aren't getting annoyed by them. There we go. Okay, sounds better now? Great. That's great. So yeah, absolutely. If you want to, you can be ASMR on your end as well. You can sit there in your space and you can listen quietly to this stream. You can have some quiet music on, do some quiet typing on your keyboard. Yeah. Now, let's check out some stuff. So the theme of this stream was twofold. Partly I wanted to do just some story time. You know, let people get to know the me. So we can do some chit chats about that. I can take some questions. We can get to know each other a bit better. But also, I am going to be reviewing some stuff that you have submitted in the Discord. Because as you all know, in the Polandball subreddit, you have to be an approved submitter to post. And to be an approved submitter, You have to first take one of your comics and send it to the mod team for review. And we go through it and we review your comic. And if it's good, then you know, we're gonna give you posting rights in the subreddit. If it's bad, on the other hand, then you might be shamed on this channel. No, but we tell people no. And I'm gonna say that, and people ask us sometimes, like, what is the rate of approval, right? How many people get approved and how many don't based on what they send in. And I'm gonna say that, like, the rejection rate is about 90%. About 90% of all comics sent in get a no from us. Now that doesn't mean that all of those 90% are Spooked Israel, like we see here. Spooked Israel is such a legendary picture. It might be like the worst comic we've ever had sent in. It's got everything right. If you like zoom in, you can see that it even has like this terrible JPEG compression on it. But most comics that get a no aren't exactly like, they're not awful, but they're not good either. They're just sort of mediocre, sort of bland. They don't really have anything going for it. And that doesn't, like, so just because you get a no from us doesn't mean that, like, you're awful. But drawing comics is a bit harder than most people think it is. Especially kids, I think. Everyone, like, sort of think that there's no real talent that goes into it, that, like, anyone can draw comics. And to a certain extent, anyone can. I mean, Polandball is made from MS Paint comics, so it's meant to be accessible, and it's meant to be for everyone. But there is an art to it, and there is a craft to it. There is such a thing as understanding comedic pacing, understanding the fundamentals of how to write a narrative with a beginning, a middle, and an end, and with a punchline somewhere in there. And there is something to be said for just, you know, a coherent line of thought. One of the questions are a bit hard to answer. Look, I'll acknowledge that, like, the rules page on the Polandball subreddit, it's kind of convoluted at this point. Like, it's very big and there's a lot of stuff in there. But it's because the medium has sort of grown and evolved over time. It started out much simpler, but tropes have been established over time. Methods have been established over time. It's sort of been hammered out what Polandball is supposed to be. So there are quite a lot of rules that you have to, like, adhere to today. But once you sort of get a grasp on the fundamentals of what you're supposed to be doing, then it's not really that hard to follow. No, I don't know who made Spooked Israel. That is, like, something that has been lost in time, just who is behind this. Unfortunately, I don't know. Sorry, Pete. It's whoever it is a legend. So I'm saying all of this to sort of preface these reviews, because, like, I'll be cordial, right? I'll be as nice as I can be, but I did say that I was going to give people the same sort of review that they get when they send comics in. So I'm going to try to be honest, and I'm going to try to point out not just what I like about a comic, but also what I don't like. Hopefully we'll learn something here. Hopefully you can take with you what I've shared on this stream and sort of, like, keep it in the back of your head for when you create future comics, either if you want to become an approved submitter in the subreddit, or just if you want to, you know, post your comics elsewhere, but still think it could be valuable to get some sort of input from me. Because at this point, I've been one of the front runners for a long time. I've been making Polandball comics for over a decade, and I've reviewed thousands of approval requests at this point. You don't get it, people. We get like somewhere between 5 to 10 approval requests to the subreddit per day, every single day. And like I said, I've been doing Polandball for 10 years. So that's 365 days times 10, 3,600. Yep, yeah, it's several thousand approval requests. I have like 8 that are waiting in the mod queue right now that haven't been handled yet. And currently, the subreddit has, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have like 13 moderators right now in the subreddit. So that's 13 people handling some thousands of approval requests every single year. That's every day. I review comics every day, and I have for many years. So at this point, I've seen it all. and when you have seen it all, you see that there are a lot of stuff that like is on repeat. You see the same sort of thing every day, and unfortunately like sort of the same mistakes every day. How do you upload it? I mean, you can just send stuff directly over Discord. If you don't, then what we typically do is we typically tell people to go to Imgur, imgur.com. It's a place where you can just upload your comics, and you'll get like an Imgur link that you can send to other people. Now, you can't actually send Imgur links here in YouTube chat. That's not possible. It just gets auto-filtered by like some bot or some algorithm. These chats do not like it when you link to outside stuff here. So sending links in chat does not work. Just so you know. Now, let's go check stuff out. Got a lot of stuff sent to me over the Discord. We'll see how long it takes to look at all of it. So we can, I'm just gonna scroll and grab. Let's do these in the order they were sent today, and I'll see if I can fish out some older stuff as well. Okay, first one right up. I haven't actually looked at these yet. I didn't have time. I did the notification that I was going to start streaming. Then I went to watch some anime with my wife. Because, hey man, you got to take care of your private life as well. So this first one is from Earth. It didn't have a title. Sometimes it's nice to have a title of the comic. A good title goes a long way to sort of like set the bar and let people know what the comic is going to be about. Now, 1907. Hi, Major Colonies. I want you to welcome Dominion of Newfoundland to the group. Yay, I get my own New Zealand. 1929. Guys, I know the depression is hard, but please try to hold it together. Dad, something's wrong with Newfoundland. Are you gonna help? I'll try. And how? I don't know. We'll get to this. I have some thoughts. 1934. Hey guys, how are you after the depression? Dad, you have been ignoring Newfoundland so long. I'm sure he's fine. And final panel, Newfoundland is dead. So, first up, there's a couple of things here. No sort of like artistic rule breaks. This is just like there's some things you can tell where it's like you can see that there's some lines that don't connect properly. You can tell that this shadow is drawn in a way that like the shadow should continue like a bit more here. So maybe it's someone who's not using layers. I don't know. You can tell here with like some errant pixels here and there that they might not be using layers. Some shadows are flat, just a flat line, and some shadows are bent, so there's some inconsistencies here. This isn't exactly a rule break, but you can tell it's a sort of like, it's sort of sloppy in some ways. Not crazy, like I've seen way worse. There's also stuff I like about this. There's some nice details, even though the art is pretty simplistic. They've taken the time to actually draw the seals, you know, the way they're supposed to. Added some extra detail by multicolored brim on the hat, and a different shade of blue for the glasses here. It's actually pretty, it's nice, right? Like, you can tell they put some effort into this art. It's just that, like, it comes with time that you sort of learn to see this ball right here for Australia. I would not have like settled for this if it was me. If it came out to like this shape, I would probably have redrawn that. But all things considered, like, I don't really have any big issues with this art. If I really wanted to be like an asshole about it, then I'd be like, whoa, on the first panel, the red line is on the right side here, like it's supposed to be. But on the second panel, it's on the left side where it's not. Like, here they forgot to add the blue to the glass. You can nitpick as much as you want, but ultimately the art is sort of fine. I don't really have an issue with it. Then we come to panel 2, and here's where we're going to talk about how you place dialogue. Traditionally, in a Western comic, comics are read from left to right, top to down. So if you deviate from that, it can be hard to figure out in what order you're supposed to read the lines. And that can be a problem. So if you see here, these are also a bit too close to each other, so you have to like parse this to see like who's saying what. So here is the first line of dialogue. Here is the second line of dialogue. Here is the third line of dialogue. Here's the fourth. Here's the fifth. Here's the sixth. And this is a bit clunky. This is like, I would take this, and it has to be on the right side because UK is on the right side. But I would put it like way up here, so it's above all of the other ones. So that like we can sort this out, because then now it's very obvious that he's saying this first, and then there's like a break, and then we're coming to like a different, you know, chat, whatever, if that makes sense. That's why I would also like separate it a bit more, so it's more apparent who is saying what. Yeah. Now, that's a nitpick, but this one is like bigger. The third thing, and that's the big thing here, is that this comic makes the mistake that a lot of people make when they draw comics, is that they assume that any potential reader has the same knowledge that you do, and the same understanding of like current events or background or history or whatever, so that you don't really need to explain the comic. Which it can be fine if you're doing like current events or an easily accessible joke. But if you're doing something like this, a comic about like a historic situation, it's like if you don't know the history of Newfoundland, and you don't know the history of the British territories, and you read this comic, then you would sort of not really understand what this comic is about. You wouldn't like, okay, so Newfoundland, something's wrong with Newfoundland, but we're never told what is wrong with Newfoundland. And the UK has been ignoring Newfoundland, and that led to Newfoundland dying. But we can't really understand what's funny about this because we're never told what is wrong with Newfoundland. The person writing this comic just assumes that the reader knows this. But if the reader doesn't know this, and I'm going to say that most readers probably don't, then they're going to be stumped. And they're just going to sit here and go like, I don't get it. Right? So ultimately the punchline falls flat in this comic. Whereas like, this would have been funny if I had known what it was about. but I don't know what it's about because the comic doesn't explain what it's about. It just assumes that I already know. And that's sort of why it fails. So my review for this comic would have been that this would not have been approved. And it would not have been approved because of the issues with this writing, of assuming that the reader has all of the relevant knowledge, so the comic doesn't have to be self-explanatory. I understand that. Like Manny said, esoteric is always going to be a part of the comic. Some people don't like history. I get that. Now I'm gonna explain my stance on this, and that is that, like, one thing that we have really struggled with and really fought for and tried to make true for the subreddit is, like, we want Polandball to have global appeal. We want to build Polandball into something that has, like, that becomes a global phenomenon, which it was for a while. You know, it's ebbs and flows, but it's on the way back up again. And we have never wanted Polandball to become too navel-gazing, too much inside jokes, too much like just for people in the know. We want it to be something that's fun for everyone, accessible for everyone, and has appeal to everyone. So there's stuff we've done to ensure that. For example, like how we only allow first level subdivisions. We allow countries and then we allow like states, but nothing beyond that. We don't allow like city balls. And that is because it becomes so niche, where the comics can only be understood by such a small amount of people that most people reading the comic are just going to be like, this isn't for me. And, you know, that's not what we want. So we do want the comics to have a global appeal. And as a result, like, that is something that we have in the back of our heads when we do reviews for these comics as well, and decide what gets approved in subreddit or not. It's like, you can like it or not. You can think we're elitists or whatever, but like, that's at least that's our thought process. That is our rationale for why we judge comics this way. Anyway, that was a long time I spent on that first comic. Let's jump to the next one. Ooh, no, not paste this new layer, paste this new image. There we go. Okay, this one was sent by Dr. Pyroclastischer, the Pyroclastician citizen. And again, no title. That's okay. That's okay. Most people probably won't send in a title. Okay. Here we go. Northern Willow says, I'm so nervous for DickRhino to review my comic. Aaron is the weird cousin. He is. Aaron is the weird cousin. Aaron is the weird cousin. Gate Nerd is the brother. Cola is the fun uncle. And DickRhino is our dad. You know what? You know what? You're probably not even wrong. Alright. Whoosh. Balloon. Do the flyings to worst Korea. Am the shore. No consequence due to best Korea. Foomp. What is? Kicking. To the playings game. Worst Korea. Many hours later. What shit day. Okay, now. I feel... Okay, he's he's sending back a balloon full of poop. You know what? You know what? That's really funny, actually. That's really funny. Now, there's a reference here. There's something in that balloon. I don't know, some message. Maybe there's something. There might be a news story I'm missing. I don't know how old this comic is, how recently it was written. But it might be a reference to something. But even if it's not a reference, he's sending a balloon probably containing some sort of joke or insult or whatever. he gets it. It does a fart sound when it lands. I love the way he wrote the thump here. That's cute. He reads it, he gets angry, and he sends back a balloon of shit. Now, look. Here's the thing. Polandball does not always have to be highbrow. Sometimes lowbrow is just fun. I have done that too. I have some of my comics that that I've tried to hit something deep, and I'm trying to do something meaningful. Like, I did that specifically for South and North Korea. Here, like, I'll show you the dichotomy. I did a we have it at a contest before that was like do a poetry in Polandball form, and I did like I wrote a poem about the division of North and South Korea, and how the national flower of North Korea is called Kim Jong-il, after Kim Jong-il. There's like a red flower, and like fields of red flowers is symbolic of, like, you know, the bloodshed and the whatnot. So yeah, try to go deep with it. And I do that, but then also I draw comics where Sweden is shit out of the butt of a Norse god during a break from homosex. So like, yeah, that's fine too. That's fine too. There's room for both high and low in Polandball. So, North Korea sending back a balloon full of shit is a perfectly fine punchline. Perfectly fine. And I don't really have a whole lot of issues with this comic, right? I think it's got a nice setup. It's got a nice middle. It has a conclusion with a funny payoff. Whereas, like, there's nothing deep about this, but I would sort of like be inclined to approve this if we got this sent in. Like, I don't really see like why I wouldn't approve this. So yeah, okay, that's all right. We're 2 for 1. We have 2 comics sent in where one would be approved. So we're gonna do a tally here. I'm gonna type it out in chat. Approval request tally. Rejected 1. Approved 1. Yeah. Alright, so this is actually pretty good. Let's move on. Official Moffe has 2. And Official Moffe is already an approved submitter in the subreddit. But he just thought it would be fun for me to look at I don't know, their stuff. So this is the first comic they ever made, followed by the latest comic. So that can be fun, because then you can see sort of like how someone has improved over time as well. So this is their very first comic. That is cool. Let me into NATO. Nem. Well, why if not? Well, don't you of seeings? What is of fuckings ongoing in your clay? So, what is of fuckings ongoing? That's good Polandball English. I like that. Obviously, art looks great. I have nothing to say. Art looks fantastic. And but when it comes to the narrative, it's like you could say that, like, oh, Hungary is a shithole. Why is Hungary saying anything about Sweden in NATO when Hungary is a shithole? But then they're pointing out that, like, things are going to shit in Sweden as well. Schrödinger Sweden, right? There's always something that's ruining Sweden. Either it's radical feminism that's ruining Sweden, or it's radical Islam that's ruining Sweden. I don't know. There's always something ruining Sweden. But it's fine. It's like it's a bit simplistic. We got the Quran burning and some protests and stuff. But it's like it's here's my thing. I think if you're gonna go below the belt, you should really go below the belt. If you want to like get people angry. And this comic, it doesn't go far enough. It's a bit tame in that regard. I think if you want to do a comic that's gonna make people angry, then go all in. This is not enough to make Swedes angry. They're gonna just look at this and have like a hearty chuckle. So I think that could have been a bit better. Now we look at their latest comic. Oh, there we go. Okay, Palestine and Israel. So we got a good start here. We got a good setup already, because Palestine and Israel is one of those topics that's always making people angry. Always, always, always. It doesn't matter if you live in Palestine or Israel, or if you live on the other side of the world. Everyone has an opinion about it, and everyone gets opinionated about it. Everyone gets goddamn angry about Israel and Palestine. So good going, Moffe, good going. Now, Allahu Akbar, kaboom. Oy vey, why you bombed me? Just do same old thing you is do. That just self-defense as hummus shitty retard group attack beauty land of Israel. Oh really? Then explain why 1,000 innocent be dead in Gaza. Well then explain why 100 kidnapped and be killed in hands of hummus group. UK. What have I done? So okay, Moffe, I'm gonna say it to you. I'm gonna say it to you. You did it again. You did it again. Cause here, this punchline of this UK and him feeling guilt over it. This is the easy way out. You took the inflammatory premise, but then you chickened out at the very last second, and instead of actually going for the jugular and doing something hard hitting, you took a very safe punchline that is not really going to offend anyone. You're shifting the blame so that the butt of the joke is neither Palestine nor Israel, but instead like some sort of third party that's divorced from everything right now. Does this make sense to you? I see that Moffe is in chat, so that's fun. Because that's what I see here. I see that like you were going for it, you were going for it, but then at the very last second, pull back. Didn't go for the kill. So maybe something to keep in mind, that there is a time and place in Polandball comics for, you know, going for the kill. Still good. Like, look at the art. Art is great. It still has like a functional punchline, right? This is just like a very competent comic. It's a very good submitter. I like Moffe stuff, so not surprised to see that it's just good. I'm not gonna give this a point in the tally for approved or rejected, because Moffe is already an approved submitter. So just, you know, they do good stuff. Let's move on to the next one. Boom. Oh no, swastikas. No, you can't even tell. You can't even tell that these are swastikas because the eyes are in the way. So I think we're gonna be fine. I don't think this is gonna be picked up by any algorithm. Okay. Hardest codes to crack. Enigma. Sir, ich habe Enigma code ready here. Ja, gut. HQQG1GOP. Invades the USSR. Operation Barbarossa. Yeah, that's the Enigma code. Navajo. Klesh an naa chin bebe betkatan. Like I've heard that, like, or I've read about that USA just used Navajo Indians speaking to each other over comms because like it's impossible to parse if you don't know the Navajo language. So you might as well be speaking in code. Danish. Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but there is I hope most people have seen it at this point. There's a YouTube sketch. It's probably like 15 years old at this point, called Cameloso. I'm gonna spell it out in chat. You can go and check that out. So, that is a sketch that was made like on Norwegian TV about the Danish language, about how the Danish language has become so guttural and incomprehensible that the Danes can't even understand each other anymore. So all of them are just walking around speaking a pretend language and pretending that they understand each other even though they actually don't. It's like a really, really funny sketch. If you have not seen the Cameloso sketch, go and check that out. This is funny. This is a funny comic. Art is great. Art is great. Punchline is great. Everything is funny. I like this. This would be approved. This is Moffe again, so you know. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Pyro has some more stuff. I'm gonna go through this a bit faster so that other people can also get their stuff approved, or I mean reviewed. I said before that I'm gonna limit it to like 3 comics per person. So I'm just gonna take the first 3 things that Pyro sent in. Yeah. Oh, Pyro is also approved already. Alright, you know what? That makes sense. That makes sense. I did say that I liked it and I would have approved it. So I'm not surprised to learn that Pyro is already an approved submitter. Alright. Piss off, nasty French. Non, je give back from our land, je rat. Frankrike and England fighting again. Netherlands want to join the fun. But who can war? Many centuries later. Nah, Netherlands can't find war. Oh, nah, it's water. It's cover my clay. Is the Netherlands offer? I can war. Netherlands the genius. Oorlog. Oorlog. Wait. It worked? It worked? Yes, it worked. Netherlands fought a war against the ocean and won. It's fun. It's fun. I don't know. It's like I'm gonna say that like some countries you have the fallback tropes. Some countries are very you can go anywhere with them. USA. You can go anywhere with USA in Polandball comics. You can make him be smart, you can make him be dumb, you can make him be capable, you can make him be incompetent. Ever since the Trump era, you can like do anything that references that. Reagan era, Nixon era, Bush era, even Obama era. It's like there's just so many different kinds of USA, and like whatever idea you have. USA and Poland are the 2 best templates to use in Polandball comics, because you can use them as stand-ins for whatever story you want to tell. Then there are other countries that are a bit more niche and a bit more like tropey, whereas like you always sort of see the same comics about that. You can see that in this one. The fact that like polder and building dams and fighting a war against the ocean, and also being stoned. Like the 2 big classic tropes for the Netherlands are both in this comic, and it's very rare to see a comic about the Netherlands that's not about either building dams or being stoned, if that makes sense. But that's just become it's sort of niche. And then you have some countries that are just like reduced down to being a one-liner. The Reichtangle probably being the worst example, or like Greece. being indebted to Germany. Whereas like you never see, if they are featured in the comics, then it's because you're telling that joke and no other joke. So I like this comic, but I also would like to see people try to like be a bit more creative with the Netherlands and come up with some new stuff for the Netherlands. And I guess finally then from Pyro, since I'm only gonna look at 3 pieces from the same person. This was Pyro's approval comic. I remember it. I remember it because I'm actually the one who reviewed this. Pyro probably doesn't know that, because when we write in our mod mail, it's anonymous. You can't tell which mod it was who reviewed your comic, but I am the one who reviewed this comic. And originally it had a reference to Napoleon, where it was like, it wasn't France, it was like actually Napoleon, and we frown on that. Whereas like, strictly speaking, human beings don't exist in the Polandball universe, because that's weird. It's weird if you have countryballs, but then there's also humans, and the countryballs talk about humans. That's weird. It doesn't work. It doesn't work in this medium. So we have to treat it like, no, this is its own separate universe where the countryballs are just countries and humans do not exist. So France can act like Napoleon, but France can't actually call himself Napoleon. It has to be France. There's a war going on in chat. Stop the war. Oh, Pete, can you chill? Come on, Pete, chill. We want to have like a nice chat going. Yeah. Okay. So, I hate you. Putain, attaque les Russes. Again, text placement. You read comics up to down, left to right. Here, you want to lead left to right. If you can see here, these are like almost at the same. Let's see here. Look, these are almost at the same height. This one is slightly higher, and you're supposed to read this one first. But you have to like really parse that. You shouldn't have to, as a reader. You shouldn't have to be forced to parse in what order you're supposed to read the lines. So I would put this one like way higher up. Like that. And now it becomes like much more apparent in which order you're supposed to read the lines. Same with this one. Moving this one up like here or something. There. Now this panel is much easier to read, if that makes sense. So it's something to think about, people. Placement of your lines of dialogue is in fact important. Yes, surrender. Then what will you do? Fight against me? Haha, then I will rampage Moscow. None stoppings me. Russia prays to God. Oh my God, Russia needs help against fake God. Russia pray to God. Pray help to protect holy city of Moscow. La, protection is here. Mon Dieu. Haha, spasibo. Shalom. I'm giving you the power of snow. Oh, you think you can defeat me? You defeated you all many times. You do it again. Niet. Because we, friends, have the power of winter. 1816 United Kingdom. And that's why we still having winter in the summer. So it's like it's okay. It's okay. It's a nice enough comic. This was like good enough to get approved, but like barely squeaked by. It's like this historical retelling. Everyone knows that like France lost against the Russian winter, and the punchline didn't really go anywhere like super funny with it. This was one of those like, okay, I guess approved, right? I'm sorry, but that's what it is. It's like, it's not your best work. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Got sent this one. Where is that, like, it's not a comic, but whatever. Okay. I guess I'm supposed to review this. Alright. I can review this. Here's here's my review. Here's my review. This troubles me. This troubles me, and the reason why this troubles me, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna have to do some quick little stuff here. This is yeah, this is a big oof. You're damn right it is. Alright, so here's what troubles me about this. I'm gonna cut out Ukraine here. I'm gonna do some fast snippy snip cuts. What's up with the ear? I don't know. Okay. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. But if we take away Ukraine, I have questions. I have so many questions here. I have to. So we're gonna remove Ukraine from the equation here, so that I can highlight what my question is. Now my question is, like, what is the shape of Russia? What is the shape here? Oh no. We don't want no ads. I'm assuming that this is like a butt. I'm assuming this is what we're working with here. Is this it? Once I've painted this in chat, you can understand my my consternation, my anguish. This is it, right? It's just the quickest little thing. Because this is what Russia looks like. Has to be. Why did you draw Russia this way? Why did you draw Russia having a butt? Because obviously the image is supposed to be Russia doing stuff to Ukraine from the behind. Is he sneaking up on Ukraine? I hope so. I hope that's what we see. I hope that's what we're looking at in this image. But if that is the case, why did you draw Russia having a butt? Why? Why did you do that? Yeah. Nona Nelson says that this was a badly drawn circle. It could have been. It could have been. Or it could have been this. This could have been what he intended all along. I think he drew Russia with a butt. And chat, poll in chat, how many people think that he intentionally drew Russia with a butt? Say Russia with a butt if you believe that they drew Russia with a butt. Ooh, this is cool. I'm gonna jump to the next thing. I think I've spent enough time on Russia with a butt. Alright, now this is actually fun to look at. Because here you can see like development over time. I guess this is someone's like avatar. And how they drew like stuff for themselves. Now there's good stuff and bad stuff. Okay? Bad stuff, obviously, they didn't drew this. Drew? They didn't drew this. They didn't draw this. Here, see this? See this seal? They did not draw themselves. This is like copy-pasted in from somewhere on the internet, which is like, that's a big no-no. We want comics to be 100% self-drawn. But it is fun to see like, oh, okay. I assume it went from like this, to this, to this, to this. And here you can see that they've sort of started understanding line work and how to draw circles and how to draw expressive eyes. I like that. Here you can see something interesting, which is circle tool cheating. What you do is you use the circle tool boom. I'll show you people. Use the circle tool to it's easier to do this in Paint actually than it is in GIMP. But as you can see just from me doing a selection with the circle here, that like first you use the circle tool to draw a perfect circle. And that's all they've done here. They've just made a circle tool circle. Now here, it's a bit more nefarious because this looks hand-drawn, right? But if you do like this circle tool thing here, you can still perfectly fit this within here. So this is a technique called circle tool tracing, which is you first do a perfect circle with a circle tool, and then you trace over it with a pencil to make it look like it was hand-drawn. But you still get the thing here that it doesn't actually look hand-drawn. And it's something about it where just like perfect circles doesn't really work in the environment of Polandball comics, where balls are a bit squished, and you can tell that there's sort of like I like balls to look a bit more like a sack of potatoes and not like a perfect circle. Then you can see that they've started drawing their own circles. This is no longer a circle tool. See, now you can't actually fit a circle within the outlines of this ball. So this is hand drawn, but they're new at it and it doesn't look very good. Here you can see clear improvement. This is not a circle tool circle. And you can tell that, where it's like, if I put this in here, it doesn't line up perfectly. See, you can see here in the bottom left, that you can tell that this is in fact hand drawn. And now it's starting to look like the outlines of a country ball that you do want to see. I just wish that they had drawn, you know, the seal inside as well, but they're working at it. So I see this as like a path in the right direction. It's gonna be cool once it's done. Or once they, you know, get better at their craft. Okay. Here is someone who drew a map of Arizona counties. This was submitted by Zambia Ball. The counties of Arizona. Now, unfortunately, a quick zoom in here can tell you that, like, see this seal here? That is not hand drawn. What is my favorite vegetables? Ooh. Manny to the max. I will tell you what my favorite vegetable is. And I have a pretty clear one right now. And that is because I'm currently on a huge weight loss journey. Since February 1st, I have lost about 12 kilos. So that's what, like, I don't know, 26 pounds, something like that, I think. And I'm doing a keto diet. So I've just cut carbs out completely. I'm not eating carbs at all. So that means no bread, no rice, no potatoes, no pasta, no sugar. And instead I overcompensate by eating more fat and more protein. But that means there's a lot of stuff that I'm not allowed to eat. A lot of stuff I'm not allowed to eat. And keto works. Keto absolutely works. And you will lose weight if you do it. If you do a keto diet, stop eating carbs, eat more protein and fat instead. You're gonna see, like, you're gonna shed weight. Believe me, it fucking works. But no, Alushi, I'm not at your stuff yet. We're taking our time here. But for most people, it's just that keto gets boring. Right, you just eat the same thing every day, and sort of like you get fed up with it after a while. So you have to figure out ways of making things interesting, of making things fun. And what a lot of people do is they turn to hot sauces and spicy food, because that is like keto compliant. You replace sweet, and then you turn your new obsession into spicy as well. So I have become like super into like chili peppers and hot peppers and different variations and varieties of that, and just experimenting with it and like understanding the difference between the flavors between a piri piri and a jalapeno, or a Thai bird's eye chili, or a Carolina Reaper, and just figuring out like how they differ in taste, how they differ in how you experience the heat, because you absolutely experience the heat of peppers in different ways depending on which pepper it is. Whereas like a Thai bird's eye chili just burns, whereas a Carolina Reaper stings. It's just a different heat sensation, and it's become really fun. So it's a way for me to not get bored with the diet while I'm dropping weight. I'm just going crazy with chili peppers and hot peppers, and just all kinds of getting deep into that culture. I've become like a pepper nerd right now. So right now, chili peppers are my favorite vegetable. I hope that's a good enough answer. Now, if you want to start getting into chili peppers and hot peppers, and you want to start small, because you shouldn't go for the hardest stuff immediately, because that's gonna mess you up. My recommendation is piri piris. Piri piris have a fantastic flavor. They're a really like just a tasty hot pepper, and they're at like 50,000 Scoville or something, which means that they're not so hot that you have to handle them with gloves. Some hot peppers you absolutely have to have like gloves when you cut them up, or your finger is going to be burning for the entire evening. Piri piris, they don't get that hot, so you can handle them without having to use gloves, and they're going to give like a good kick to your food, but it's not going to fuck you up. And they've got a really good taste. So start there. If you're not experienced at all with like hot peppers and spicy food, use those, and then you can just work your way up to spicier stuff from that point. Yeah, I do remember when I ate a Carolina Reaper. I did that on camera because I was like, I'm gonna do something stupid for content, and I'm just gonna eat a Carolina Reaper whole on camera, and then I'm gonna review some comics after that. Like I just said, the piri piri measures 50,000 Scoville. A Carolina Reaper is somewhere between 1.5 to 2 million Scoville. It is it's gonna burn the inside of your mouth like you won't believe. Don't do it. It's like, I wouldn't do it again. Now I'm at the point where like I can use Carolina Reapers in cooking, but I wouldn't just eat a whole Reaper just like that. I have not built up immunity to capsaicin. You do build up resistance to it. You absolutely do. But immunity, I don't think it's possible. So here, I'm gonna go back to looking at this thing. It's very difficult for me to give this like an actual review, because this is none of this is hand drawn. The map of Arizona is hand drawn. The ball outlines are hand drawn, and the ice are hand drawn. But the actual difficult thing about drawing American state flags and city flags, the seals, that's all copy pasted in. So, unfortunately, that is a bit too lazy and a bit too cheaty. So you're not getting a review for that. Let's see. Marble sent in an art dump. Now this is a bit more simplistic. This is just some avatars, some quick little artworks, but not like any in any sort of like context, not part of any comics or anything. Gonna have to paste that one as a new image. And final one. So a lot of these are just like avatars of the people behind this channel. So here we have, you know, Aaron, and this looks like Kolai. It's fun that you have like such a small visor for the spacesuit, but then you have like these really big glasses on the outside. That's a choice, having the glasses on the outside of the spacesuit. And a Canada ball, which looks nice. And I don't know off the top of my head which flag that is. This all looks nice. It's okay. I'm gonna say one thing though, and that is that like I am not a super big fan of overly thick outlines like this. It even went to the point where like some people were going so crazy with overly thick outlines that we had to like institute a temporary ban on it in the subreddit, and we have to be like, guys, stop with the super thick outlines of countryballs. It just sort of looks weird. The Aaron thing is also sort of like stretching it. I much prefer when outlines are a bit thinner. I think it just looks better. If you look at like Moffitt's comics like this, like I think this width of an outline on the USA here, it just looks better than having an outline like this thick. Anyway. FM Roman in the Discord had this as their latest comic. Now this one looks familiar. I don't know if this person has sent this in as an approval request, or if they are an approved submitter. I have to check. I have to check real quick if this person is an approved submitter in the subreddit, or and they have already submitted this. Yes. Yes. This was submitted a week ago. I thought it was familiar. I thought I had seen this before. Was this your approval comic? No. Gotta check. No, you posted another comic 2 years ago. 2 months ago. So this was not your approval comic. Okay, gotcha. Japanese culture. Nihon. Rest his soul. Our working culture be just way too hard for him. Nippon. I thought you say you kill self. But Joseon, I thought I tell you. Watashi is sleeping with fishes. Ha ha ha. Hentai joke. I guess because there is an octopus in that bed. If that's what we're going with, that Japan is actually not figuratively, but actually literally sleeping with fishes. It's like, okay, that's funny. That is a funny little twist on things. So you take the saying of sleeping with the fishes, which typically means that they're dead. But it's funny when it's Japan. All right, that's fine. That's a pretty good comic. It's a pretty good comic. Now moving on. We're at Squareptoon. Don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce that. But they said 2 of my favorite comics, and the swastikas have been edited out. That's nice. Thank you. Okay. Is fake. I challenged you to real battle. See this? Iran. He won't call it Israel. He will call it is fake. Oy vey. Hezbollah, Hamas, I choose you. Hezbo, Hamas. This is the right way to do it, because we don't allow political organizations to be portrayed as countryballs. So you draw it as that country, and then they have like the political organization as like a flag. I mean, as a headband. That's typically how we prefer to have it done, because countryballs are supposed to be countries. Trick. I have put my sleeves. That's the interesting English. That's pretty good. I like that. Bam, bam, bam. Preemptive strike. Hezbollah has been paralyzed in fear. Now, I'm gonna say this right away. Folks, if you have the idea that like, I'm gonna draw like a Polandball comic where it's like, it's Pokemon instead of Polandball. And I'm even gonna do a thing where it's like, that's not Poland, that's a Voltorb. What I'm gonna tell you is that we get that approval request once per week. And we have gotten that approval request once per week for 10 years. So that's 500 times, probably, that someone has sent in a comic where it's actually Voltorb and not Poland. So you can skip to the next idea that you had in your list of ideas and not do that one. And that would be fine. Anyway, we're gonna keep going. I'm going to put my ace down to finish this. Rocket strike. Iron Dome. Why can't they just be normal? Alright. So, the comic is proxy war between Iran and Israel. They do it as a Pokemon battle, summoning Hamas and Hezbollah, doing Pokemon attacks. It's okay. It's a nice little comic. It's harmless. It's like it's very nice to whenever something is happening in the world, that's what people want to do. And this is good. We like that the Polandball medium works for that. Something happens in the world, people have opinions about it, or just thoughts, or maybe even jokes, and they want to express that somehow. And Polandball is a very good way to sort of like spread your voice, let your voice be heard out into the world. Maybe through comedy, right? That you have something you want to say, or just, and comedy is a good way to deliver that. And there's an audience for it if you're part of this Polandball community. And these comics get spread, some of them get spread far and wide. Aaron had a comic once in a day that got like reposted by the president of Estonia. That was like back when Polandball was really like becoming this global phenomenon. But it's nice. It's nice that you can do that. And obviously with this current ongoing Israel-Palestine conflict, a lot of people want to, you know, share their thoughts on that through Polandball comics. So you kind of have to like balance that with when there is a big current event, be it the Ukraine-Russia war or, you know, this conflict. You know that everyone and their mother are gonna be making Polandball comics about it. So you really have to sort of like think of like, how can I stand out? How can my comic be different from everyone else's? And this is a way of doing it, the Pokemon battle and the proxy war angle of it. So it works. It's like it's a nice comic. I like this. We have seen so many other people who just sort of like go for the low-hanging fruit for Israel and Palestine, and it's just not funny because they just want to shove something out into the world about Israel and Palestine because that's going to give you attention, but they didn't bother to actually think of like how to make it funny. This one did, so I like that. All right, next one up. Unmust not of into consuming whole clay, but must take petite bites and puppet rest. 9. Du musst of eating until you fillings up. The Aryan master race should not overeat. And finally, burp. Britannia rules the waves. Oh man, don't they wish? Don't they wish that they were back to being that relevant? Yep. This is like, it's okay. It's okay. It's also pretty funny. Just the different countries and their perspective on conquering and occupation and how you're supposed to do it. It's fun that everything is blown up in Britain's face and Britain is not relevant anymore and now everyone is just laughing at Britain. I think that's fun. That is funny. Ah, remember when Britain was relevant? I don't. Ooh. Sunnyflower has submitted artwork. Look at this. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Now there is an art to this. There is an art in itself to drawing just art pieces that are advanced and look really pretty, but still adhere to the subreddit rules and like how we want artwork to be done. Now here you have the noodles that fly out and do these big elaborate strings in patterns, which is nice. And then you have the clouds in the background and the colors. But then, and this is where sort of it gets a bit iffy, where you can see that there's this pattern that's been splattered across the top. And this is some sort of layer that you put on top of the whole thing to give it like this sort of grainy effect. And this is where it would get iffy in regard to our subreddit rules. Because if you look at this a bit closer, this is to the point where like you can't really replicate this in MS Paint. Going in like and doing this like pixel by pixel. It's not feasible, it's not like possible. So that's like, it looks beautiful, and I wouldn't tell Sunny like how to make their art or like what, for whatever purpose it was for. But when it comes to our very strict subreddit rules, doing stuff like applying this filter, and you can tell it is a filter because you can see that like it's lying on top of everything. You can see that it's like here, you can see that it's this thing is overlapping both the background and then it's overlapping here as well. So you can see that the filter is put on top. And that's sort of what would make it iffy for us. You can even tell that they've gone in and like there's no, the filter's there too. It's just, it's not as visible against the light color here, the light red. Like, it looks nice. I like the filter. But yeah, I know it's not meant to be posted to the subreddit, exactly. So that's why I'm not dissing it for what it was meant for. It looks great. But we would have an issue with it because of that filter in the Polandball art subreddit. Here's a new one, also from Sunnyflower. Again, goddamn, this looks good. This is fantastic. I love the composition. I love the colors. Just the gold fading into like a dark brown here. It's just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. The green here in the background, you can see that it shapes the Japanese Isles. And very nice effects for like the wind flapping in the color in the flag. Good use of like shadows and light, and you can see that most of like these shadows, there's like it's hand drawn. There is some like lighting effects here and there, but you know, again, absolutely fantastic. This is someone who understands color theory and composition. Looks great, wonderful. Damn, yeah, that looks good. So, chat, what I'm gonna do here is that I am going to go and grab something to drink. Because, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if you can tell from my face, that there's a flashlight right in my face. It's like the streamer setup with like a Ring camera. And it gets hot. It gets hot when you're sitting here. So I'm gonna go and grab something to drink. And I will be right back when I have that. So, in the meantime, you're gonna have to be entertained by a chair. It's gonna be chair stream for a minute or so. Alright, stay tuned. There we go. Ah, delicious water. Alright, let's see if we can squeeze in some story time. Chat? Do you have some fun questions for me? Do you have anything you've ever wanted to ask of the mysterious DickRhino? Because I do have stories to tell about stuff. Consider playing Pizza Tower. It's a masterpiece. I've heard about it. I've heard that there's stuff to Pizza Tower, so I've tried to keep myself spoiler free of it. And I've tried to not learn about what like the thing behind it is. It's one of those things like Doki Doki Literature Club, where it's like you should go in not knowing anything at all about that game, and you'll get more out of it. Tell us of your Viking raids. The only raid I've ever done was that I went to Thailand for 2 months to train Thai boxing, but I didn't really do a whole lot of raiding. I'm gonna say that like out of the people there, it was a very international camp. We had people from all over the world, and the ones who were engaged the most in actual raiding were the British, which I guess it comes with the territory. Maybe it's their colonial past. I don't know. Maybe it's that they just like still think that the entire world belongs to them. But out of all the people from all the countries, the ones who behaved the worst toward the local population were by far not even a competition, the British. I had some guys there who were like, they showed back at camp drunk as always, and they were like, oh yeah, we found this cool store on like a back alley where you could like buy all sorts of weird shit, and we bought a bunch of tasers, and then we just walked down the street just tasing people at random. It's like, yeah, I can imagine a bunch of lads from the British Isles doing that, you know. Oh, it's just banter, mate. I didn't do that. I didn't do that kind of raiding. I did punch a bunch of people in the faces, but only as part of the training. Worst injury as a child. I broke my leg. I broke my leg in a snowmobile accident. It wasn't like I was riding with my mom. I was just sitting behind her in the snowmobile, like a a motorized, a scooter thing, whatever. And my mom doesn't do well in panic situations, so we came up to this like really hard curve, and there was like this huge tree in front, and she panicked and froze, and in that moment she forgot which handle was the brake and which one was like the thruster. So she just careened right into that the tree, sent all of us flying. And like I landed first, my leg landed on a tree stump, and my mom landed on my leg. It just snapped. So I was in a cast for like 8 weeks after that. But that's how I learned English. That's how I learned English, because I already knew how to speak or like read and write at that point. And I just sat at home for 8 weeks watching children's television, English children's television with Swedish subtitles, and just pieced it together in my head and taught myself how to speak English. I just sort of like just understood it after 8 weeks. Crazy, right? But that's pretty cool. What's my opinion on the growing tensions in Gaza? Well, it would be nice if they stopped. my opinion is that Israel and Palestine, this has been an ongoing conflict for, I don't know, 80 years now, and the best minds in this world have not been able to figure out a solution to that problem in the past 80 years, and I think it would be frankly arrogant of me to think that I would be able to. I don't know what the situation is or the solution is. My favorite slushy flavor, I don't like slushies. So I guess that's it. I don't know. Let's say lime. Lime is probably good. Tell us about your first date. See, this one's tricky. This one's tricky because that's an American thing, right? Sweden does not have the American style of dating culture. It's not as defined here, where you ask someone out and then it's like an actual date thing. That's not really how it works here. People don't go on dates. That's more of a thing you do, like when you're already in a relationship with someone, and you sort of like my wife, me and my wife, we go out on dates sometimes to just sort of break up the monotony of just everyday normal life. But when you're younger and you're starting to like meet girls, it's so fluid. It's more just you start talking to someone and then maybe you start hanging out and then maybe you go over to their place and maybe something happens, or maybe you're just at a party and you make out with someone or whatever. But we don't really have dates the way that some countries, like, I don't know, America or maybe like Japan or whatever. So thinking back to it, of like why, what would I have gone through that I would have defined as my first date? There was like, I don't know, there was a summer party, we were outdoors, we were like playing baseball and barbecuing and drinking out in the park somewhere, and I just met this girl, started talking, everyone else left. At the end it was just the two of us left, and we spent like the entire evening making out. That was pretty cool until it was like 2 a.m. and then it was like, all right, time to go home. And I had to walk back home because there's like all the buses that stopped going, and I think it was like an hour's walk or something to get back home from there. And I was just walking back home with my CD player in my pocket, because that's what you had back in those days, listening to Green Day's Dookie album, I remember. And that's still like a very fond memory of just walking home in the middle of a summer night. And the cool thing about Sweden is that like it doesn't get dark in the summer during summer nights. When we live this far up north to the polar circle, during the height of summer, the sky just turns from a dark blue to a medium blue. I mean, a light blue to a medium blue. It just that pitch black night, it just doesn't happen. So it's still light outside. It was just quite pleasant to just have all of the lit up street lights, listening to music, walking home, being in a really good mood. And that was sort of like getting into the whole dating scene and having my first real success. That was a good night. Thank you for letting me remember that. What's my opinion on the Catholic Church? Man, what a good hustle it is to just tell people that, like, oh yeah, you can just buy yourself free from sin. If you've committed like a sin, you can just pay money and you're off. That is such a good hustle. That's what I think of the Catholic Church. What would I do if I were a countryball? Well, to quote Harlan Ellison, I have no mouth and I must scream. Let's see. Go further down. Do I still know that girl? No, I don't. I don't still know that girl. We never actually became like an actual couple. We had like an on and off sort of like unserious thing, but it never really went anywhere. I just remember her as like my first sort of like introduction to the dating scene, and just, wow, this is kind of cool, I can get into this. But it didn't work out. 7 accounts banned official says, I was on a school trip and all of my friends and students in the bus were starting to play and dance sexual songs. Even my crush. Trauma of my life and my story time. Oh man. That is... Look, I've had that too, okay? I've had that too, where I was crushing on someone and then I had to like just watch as they got together with someone else. That is also something you have to go through in your youth. Everyone has to go through that. It fucking sucks for everyone. It really does. So, you have my sympathy. Goddamn. Alright. That was fun. I'm happy I got to tell that story. Well, out of questions right now, so I should go back to looking at artwork. Sphinxen asks if I could take a look at their entry for the album cover contest. Must have been a previous one. I don't think this is the current contest. Okay. Revolution, I like it. Revolutionary art. That's neat. Let's see. Is this line tool? It might be line tool. It's fine, we're not on the subreddit. It might be line tool, it might be just... It looks close to being line tool, but then you have some lines that look like they aren't line tool. I don't know. It's good. Now, I'm gonna review this for what it is. And what it is the idea of being the previous... Okay, cool. It's the idea of being the an album cover. So if I were to like go to a record store and I would like see this as like the cover of a CD, like would I think that this was a good album cover? And I don't think I would. Like I like it more as a piece of art. I like it as revolutionary art. I'm not sure I like it as an album cover. It has like the band members in the front, but it's like it's so busy in the background. And hear me out. If it were me, I would probably play around with like saturation and make the background way more monochrome, like black and white. And I think that would work better. It's like a small detail. I'll show you. So if I take this and like cut everything out here in the foreground, it is gonna take a little while, a couple of seconds. Humor me. There might be a faster way of doing this, but I'm an idiot, so if there is a faster way, I don't know what it is. I'm doing it the slow way, unfortunately. Missed one. Now I'm just doing this just to sort of show what I'm thinking. This might be a huge waste of time. Or it might not be. We'll find out. Let's see how long this will take. Come on. I feel like I could have done this a faster way. But now I'm almost done, so we're gonna continue until we're done. Okay. I've selected the foreground. Nope. Missed a thing. There. Now I've selected the foreground. So we're going to cut that out. I'm going to paste that in. Boom, as a new layer. Now I'm going to take the background. And I'm going to do the saturation thing here. And we're going to just drop that back all the way down to like almost like... I could go black and white. I could do that. But let's keep a little bit of color. Let's keep it at like 90%. Minus 90% saturation. Maybe even more. Maybe like 93. There. See this? Now we have an album cover. Like that's my train of thinking. Only wand select the outline colors, then lasso select everything inside. Dude, that is such a good idea. Oh, why didn't I think of doing that? Thank you. Jesus Christ, that is a fantastic idea. Wow. Okay, cool. Thank you. I will remember that. Let's see. If you were stuck in a video game world forever, like for example Minecraft, which one would you choose? Why would you choose that game, and how long do you think you will survive? Okay, I'm gonna choose Nier Automata because then I'm gonna be stuck in a video game world forever with 2B, and it'll just be me and her, and I'll live for as long as I'll live, and I'll die happy, crushed under those thighs. That's my answer. All right, that is absolutely my answer. Move it up. We have more stuff to review. We'll see if I'll have time to review everything. I might have to do like more streams. Might not get to everything in this stream. So this one is sent in by Prussia. Great Prussian soldier. Oh, I think his name is Prussian ruler as the Reddit username. Now here's the thing. I'm not gonna review this, and the reason why I'm not gonna review this is because this person has actually sent in this comic as an approval request to the subreddit, and I know that this comic is still in the queue and waiting for a review. So since this one actually is awaiting a proper review, I'm not gonna get ahead of that. So unfortunately, I'm gonna skip this one, and this comic is gonna be judged within the context of our approval system in the subreddit. 7 accounts banned official. Come on, review mine. I mean, I'm gonna have to go down and look, man. Let's see. We have Netherlands Ball. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close to yours. I have Netherlands Ball, and then I'm gonna be at yours. So don't worry. Don't worry. Now let's see. I've already looked at something from Netherlands Ball, I think. Not sure. No. Okay, cool. Then we'll go down to those. Yeah. Boom. Got the first one from Netherlands Ball. Let's see. What's my favorite band at the moment? This is a nice question, because my favorite band of all time is Dredge. I've talked about that before. I'll spell it out in chat. But they might not be my favorite band at the moment. That is a... Because that's not the same thing, right? You know what? My favorite band at the moment is called Churches, but spelled with a V and all caps. Here, I typed it out in chat. And they're like a sort of like a synth pop band with a teeny tiny little singer lady who's cute as a button. And they do like sort of this electro pop synth music that's like really got me hooked. I don't know why their stuff is getting me so hooked, but damn it is. So I think I'm gonna say that Dredge is my favorite band of all time. It's like post-rock, experimental, really cool. But Churches is my favorite band right now. Oh, cool. Cool, Left. You also love Churches? Yeah, of course. Of course, because they're fucking fantastic. God damn, that's good music. Alright, let's look at this comic. Finland, you happy world country, tack? Yes, best happy country. So, tolerate situation, tack? Well... So, be good when you break your ice stick hockey? Well... Or throw Nokia phone in Russia bin? Well... Or destroy vodka Finland? Hope Poland learned from experience next. That's funny. That's funny. It is funny because it's a dichotomy here, okay? It's a dichotomy where Finland is known in Polandball comics for being like a sad and depressed country. But if you look at actual statistics in the actual real world, you can tell that Finland actually has like one of the happiest populations of all countries in the world. So it's a mix and match. The depressed Finland trope is more historic. It comes from it's a struggling country. They had to fight for independence for a long time. First, they were just like serfs to Sweden for like 800 years, and then they were serfs to Russia, and then they got their independence. But the way to getting independence was through like bloody wars, and then ultimately Finland is just like it's just a bunch of dark forests, and there's not like a whole lot there. So that's where sort of like that. The heavy mindset, the heavy mood of the Finns. I know about that because like my grandparents are from there. My grandparents were born in Finland. My grandfather fought in the Winter War and killed communists to defend the integrity of the Finnish borders. So I know all about that. That's the history of Finland. But Finland is also part of like the Nordic model of, you know, these social democracies and welfare states, and, you know, taking care of their population. And Finland's actually doing good. And we got a good thing going up here in these countries, and we have populations that are actually thriving. So ultimately right now it's like Finland is on a pretty good track, and they're doing nicely, and they're pretty happy. So it becomes difficult in Polandball comics how to balance these things of like you have the established trope that Finland thinks that everything sucks. But now you're starting to get a reality where Finland in real life doesn't actually think that at all, and Finland in real life is actually pretty happy. So I guess you do something like this in this comic of like how do you still manage to push Finland's button and get Finland back into that dark place. So I kind of like what they attempted to do with this comic. I think, you know, it's a trifle at the end. It's not like it's not a comic that blows me away, but I acknowledge sort of like what it's trying to do, and it's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. I like it. And the second one from Netherlands Ball. I'm gonna look at that one too. Here. Poland What the linje do here is sweet release. The sweet release of death. Also, this is meta. I've seen this one. This is like, oh, this is the Reddit Polandball. As his website. Poland. Nein. Oh fuck. Kurva. Okay, so it got a bit weird in the end, and this is because I still use like old Reddit. I don't use the new Reddit interface, so I don't really know what this was about. I'm gonna assume that this was for our latest anniversary celebrations, because during our anniversary celebrations we celebrate like, oh, the subreddit is 11 years old or whatever. During that time we allow people to post meta comics, like comics that are about the medium of Polandball itself, or that are about known submitters, or that are about the subreddit. So this is one of those. It's like a comic that is about the subreddit. But since I don't use the new Reddit interface, I unfortunately don't understand what this is about. Scriptune, I do listen to metal as well. I listen to Swedish metal too. Fucking love Opeth. Yeah, damn, they're good. But I've got a pretty broad taste in music. I listen to like most genres. It's like country music is the only genre that I like have sworn off, like just don't listen to. Depending on, like, do you count Johnny Cash as country? If you count Johnny Cash as country, then I guess I listen to country music too. But I only listen to Johnny Cash. So, just because you can listen to cute Scottish electropop, and you can also listen to metal music. Don't worry about it. It's fine. You can listen to both. No one's gonna kill you over it. Let's see. Alushi says that, okay. I'm gonna have to look if there's something I have to look at in chat. Oh, I see. Who are we being racist against? Oh, someone is posting memes in Discord about being racist toward the British because they're posting GIFs of people with bad dental hygiene. It's like, all right, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to deal with that. I'm sorry, but that's fine. They're allowed to do that. All right. That's funny. Okay. Scottish Scott asks, can I have tips to make a good comic? Yes. Yes, you can. That was my intention with the stream, to provide just that. And sort of warn people about the pitfalls of what to do and what not to do. So yeah, watch the stream and you'll get tons of good tips. All right. Now I'm gonna jump back into the channel I was in. Oof. Okay, where are we at? Folks, we did it. We came to 7 accounts banned. We came to their comics. He has been in chat. He has been saying, please, Mr. DickRhino, please, get to my stuff. It's your lucky day. I just got to your stuff. Let's look at the comics by 7 accounts banned. Alright. Guys, quit with the skibidi stuff in chat. I will not have skibidi. And just no arguing, okay? No arguing. You're right, Conrad. Hello, Conrad. Thank you for being here. You're right, I should be asleep, but I had so much fun. I had so much fun streaming the past week that I did it, that I was like, I want to get back into this. Because, look, here's the thing. Here's the thing, chat, okay? Toddlers go through phases. Some of them are easier to deal with and some of them are harder. And when the toddler is in a phase that is tough to deal with, then that's pretty goddamn exhausting. And you try and you try and you try. And you get through the day. That's what you do. You get through the day. But whatever energy you have left at the end of that day is pretty non-existent. And you try to, like, you know, put some work into the channel stuff as well. But you just can't. You have nothing left. You just fall asleep. So there are currently right now in the channel is like Coli and Aaron and Gate Nerd and Chicken Scuttle Monkey. They are doing so much of the heavy lifting, and I just can't. When the channel started, I put out a lot of videos, like react videos. I was very involved in like the podcast as well, and doing like a lot of channel art and design and thumbnails. But recently, it has been very, very difficult to find even like a minute of free time to actually dedicate to it. I'm super happy that Coli and Aaron and Gate Nerd and Chicken Scuttle Monkey, etc., are like picking up the slack and just having fun with it and making content for the channel. But I sort of lament it. I'm frustrated about the fact that I just don't have the capability to put in as much work as they are right now. But streaming is something that I can do on occasion. I can do these ASMR. I can do these ASMR streams when my family is sleeping and I have to speak very quietly. But like that's what I can do. So yes, I should be sleeping right now because it's half an hour past midnight here in Sweden. But I'm having fun and I want to interact with you guys, so I'm doing that. That's it. Okay. 7 accounts banned. Can you fucking chill in chat? I'm gonna look at your stuff. So it would be nice if you could just fucking chill in chat while I do that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you talking about rigging contests. I want you to just fucking chill with that. No, I can't give you my SpongeBob impression because I'm the wrong generation. I did not grow up watching SpongeBob. I'm too old. I'm sorry. I'm too old. Alright. Hi. I'm here for applyings. Wait, is that? Yes, 1 pixel that's not filled in. 1 pixel not painted. Try again. August 12th, 2036. But wait, and are Polandball creators live? Maybe I could use some help. Yes. Okay, so you have to tell me what this is, because this is not Reddit. This orange ball here. This, is it Reddit? I don't know. Reddit does have that orange-red color, I guess. I guess that is Reddit. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The pixel is, in fact, off-center as well, off the grid. It wouldn't even end up in that exact same spot. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right away that in the subreddit, we would not have allowed a country ball with hair. We also would not have allowed meta comics outside of like anniversaries and special events. But that's okay. This isn't a comic that you would have sent in for approval anyway. It is a joke about applying, yes. Now I'm gonna say this, people. When we do look at approval requests, we would not have rejected a comic for having like 1 pixel that was out of place. That's fine. It happens. Look, Aaron has pixels out of place all the time. I don't, because I am obsessive compulsive about these comics. So when I draw, I actually do make sure that they don't have a single pixel out of place. But Aaron doesn't work that way. Aaron puts out like a new comic every single fucking day, and I respect the hell out of him for that, because I can't. I just can't. But the way he does that is that he has an idea and he just churns it out. And he has an idea and he churns it out, and he has an idea and he churns it out. And he is such a machine at just taking whatever idea in his head and just making it into reality. Just forcing it into existence. That's so fucking cool how he can just do that. I can't. But in his stream of consciousness to do that, and do that every day, he does not check every pixel. So there are like some mistakes here and there in his comics, which is fine. That's just the way he works. I clean up every single pixel, but then again, I post like one comic per month at this point, so can't compare it. But this is pretty cool. I want to check out the other one that you made as well, because that one does not look like it's meta. Now let's see, and pasting it in. Yay. Oh god damn it, it's South America. This is so frustrating for me. And we're currently in a situation right now in the subreddit where we don't have a lot of South American moderators, because there's so much about South American culture that I just don't know. So I always feel like an idiot when I try to review comics that are about South American culture, because I'm like, I just feel like I'm not knowledgeable enough about it. Alright. The Triple Alliance War was the last war in South America. No, it was my Independencia. No, it was the Patagonia War. See. Shh, you are my prey now. No, last war was La Guerra del Pacifico. Why, they always don't recognize the Cenepa War. Yeah, that was the actual last war. See, here's the thing about this comic. I'm sure this comic is like super fun if you actually know anything about South America. It's just that I don't. So I don't understand it. I don't get the joke. And I don't even think this is bad. I think this is probably a pretty good joke. I'm just so sad that this is my cultural context. Last stream, someone asked me to like give a list of every country that I visited, and I like painted in a map. And it was like most of Europe, a lot of Northern America, some of Southeast Asia. But then it's like, I've never been to Africa, I've never been to South America. And South America is like at the top of my list of like places I actually want to go to that I haven't been to yet, because I think South America seems cool. It's just that I've never been there. So I'm sorry. It's a joke about the South American continent don't recognize the Cenepa War as the actual last war. Yeah, that's probably like, it's probably a good joke. It's probably a good joke. I'm just the wrong person to review this, because I don't have the cultural context for it. And I'm sad that as much of an oldie as I am compared to a lot of you, I just have not had the opportunity to go to South America yet in my life. And I wish I had, because damn, love the food, which is a good first step. went to the Philippines and I hated the food. And if you go somewhere and you just like really don't enjoy the food at all, that just sort of sours you on the entire place. So that's when we have people come here to Sweden. I try to make sure that they get access to the good Swedish food, because we do have good food here as well, but it's like you just have to know where to go and know what is the good stuff and what isn't. But I think I would probably like South America. Anywho, let's see. I'm gonna just check chat, see what I've missed so far. Question about GIMP. Why is my pencil not drawing properly? It is only drawing text marker style. The thing about GIMP is it's a bit different from Paint in that even if you pick between the pencil tool and the brush tool, paintbrush, whatever, you can still set how you want them to behave. So if you look here, when I'm at the pencil tool, even here at the pencil tool, I have options for hardness or patterns. I have options for hardness and force and spacing and smooth strokes, etc., etc. So it's probably just a case of you have to fiddle with your settings, even if you're using the brush tool, to make sure that it behaves the way that you want a brush tool to behave, if that makes sense. Let's see. Boo, 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 boo. Opinions on Drew Durnall reviewing Polandball comics. Okay, here's my opinion on Drew Durnall. Drew Durnall is a talentless hack. Yeah, that's my opinion about Drew Durnall. He has never been a part of this community. He's never drawn a comic in his life. He's never participated in the community. He's never interacted with anyone in the community. He is just one out of a long line of people who did not build this house. He did not participate in building this house. He just found this house that other people had built, and he decided to profiteer from it. So, him reacting to other comics, which means reading them out loud, that is just someone who had no part in Polandball ever becoming big. No part in it. He found it when it was already big, when people like me and Kolai and Aaron made it big. And he decided to make money from it. And he has never given back a single dime to the community. He has never given back a single dime out of all the money that he's made from it to any of the artists that he has featured on his channel. And he has never even asked anyone for permission if he could feature their art on his channel. I think Drew Durnall is a vulture. I think he's preying on the people who have actual talent and is making money off of them like a lamprey, like a parasite. And he has never given a single fucking cent back to the people who made him rich. That's what I think about Drew Durnall. Yeah. Alright, let's keep going. Recommend traveling to Quito, Ecuador. It has the middle of the world where you can do crazy experiments. But just watch out for gangs. Maybe I'll go somewhere in South America that doesn't have gangs. Oof. I think maybe I'll go somewhere that doesn't have gangs. Alright. I have to check how much left do I have to review. Okay, 1, 2. And more. Alright. Here's the deal, people. Here's the deal. I have been chatting for quite some time now. And I can feel like my voice is starting to give out. What will happen if Drew finds this channel? Not a single fucking thing is gonna happen. He's not stupid enough to pick a fight with us. But no. I'm gonna have to pick this up and continue because I've been streaming for quite some time now. And my voice is giving out and I've been talking and talking and talking. And it's getting very late. It's getting very late. It's like 20. It's like 1:45 a.m. here. And I have a daughter. And I have no idea how early in the morning that she will decide to wake up. So I gotta get at least a couple of hours of sleep in, or tomorrow is gonna suck for me. But this has been great. And I'm gonna pick this up because we're not done. People have sent in a bunch of stuff that I have not had the time to review yet. So I'm gonna have to pick this up and stream some more later. And this has been super fun. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for just sitting here and interacting with me, listening to my ranting, listening to my reviews, and if he picked a fight with Polandball official, I feel like the whole Polandball community would destroy him. That would be hilarious. But I don't know if we have that widespread on YouTube yet. We definitely have on Reddit. On Reddit we have a community of 680,000 people. But here on YouTube we are still small fry. We're still not even at 10,000 subscribers. So we're trying to grow this channel just like we did on Reddit. We're trying to build this thing up to be like the new hot big thing on YouTube, right? And I think we will. I think we will over time. I think this is going to be like, might sound arrogant or whatever, but I do think that this channel has the potential to be sort of like the hub for like the right way of doing it. Not Drew's shit. Drew even has like, he has like a big subreddit that he doesn't even like interact with. There's just, it's not a community, if that makes sense, right? It's just like tailgating. Whereas what we're trying to do here is we're trying to build a community that people can congregate around, which is just what we did on Reddit. We try to invite people to be a part of this and sharing of ourselves. So we're doing stuff like this. We're doing comic. I'm reading your stuff. I'm one of the old guard when it comes to Polandball, but I still want to participate in the community. I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of this global movement we have here, and I want to do what I can to sort of like, you know, help guide the next generation too, right? Because this is cool. Polandball is cool. I don't think Drew Durnell loves Polandball, if that makes sense. I think it's a living for him. I think it's an income. But people like me, people like Kolai, people like Aaron, it's like, I met my wife through Polandball. My daughter exists because of Polandball. It's been a part of my life for a quarter of it. It's... I helped to build this thing that has now become a global movement. The new kids find every day, and they find a community. They find something that they've never had before. They were like, oh my god, I've been lost before, and I finally found a place where I feel at home, right? That's something that we have been able to do for people all over the world, and I love that. I'm so proud of my part in making that happen. And then on the other side of the coin, there are people who just see Polandball and they see dollar signs. They see it as just a way to profiteer. They don't care about any of the other things around it. They don't care about the community. They don't care about like what this is on a deeper level. And that's why this is important to us. That's why this is important to me. That's why this is important to Aaron and Cola and Chicken Scuttle Monkey and Gate Nerd and Alpaca and everyone who's involved with this channel. It's because that's what we've always wanted this to be. This is our footprint. This is the important thing that we are going to do in our lives, is building this community around Polandball. It sounds dumb, but you get it, right? You get it. So we want to do that on YouTube as well. We want this to be our legacy, and we want to like really put in the work and really fight and really churn this out and build a new house. We built a house on Reddit, and we want to build a new house on YouTube. And we're so happy that the growth is like really good right now, and people are congregating around it, and people do think this is fun, and they do sort of resonate with what we're thinking and what we're doing. Yeah. So thank you for listening to my rant. And if you think that sounds fun and cool, if you think that sounds like a community you'd like to be a part of, then just stick around. Just stick around, because we're gonna keep grinding and plugging and working and building this. And with those words, I thank you for tuning in, and I will bid you adieu for the night, and I will see you again soon for more of the same. Bye bye, folks.